Hi everybody, welcome to your mid-year tarot reading. We're going to do a pick a pile for this one, and thank you for just accepting this makeshift setup. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, but for these I really wanted you to be able to see the cards more than seeing me, which I know. Anyway, so I pre-shuffled and we have 3 piles here. I don't know what the cards are for each pile. I will show you the stones up close so you can choose which one you feel most drawn to. And then these cards were done with the intention of helping you feel whether or not this is the pile for you. So these are sort of going to give me indicators as to what's been going on with you at this time. And if that resonates with you, then it's probably your pile. If it doesn't resonate with you, then maybe there's another pile. If you feel drawn to more than one, obviously feel free to watch all 3. So we'll do these cards first after you choose your pile, and then I'll consult the tarot for guidance on the next half of 2024 for you to get any sort of insight or clarity that you may need. We'll pull a card for each month and see what messages we get. Pile 1, this is your stone. Pile 2, this is your stone. Pile 3, this is your stone. Okay, take a second, see which pile you feel drawn to, and then I will see you there. Hi, pile 1, you chose this stone for your reading. So let's see what oracle cards you got. Base chakra, choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances as your words determine your outcome. Content with what I already have. Okay, we're seeing a theme already. Second house, wow, this is very clear. Okay, we love that. Psychic, repeating 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, 12, threes are the number 48 may be significant for you. And crown chakra, 7. Okay, so to start, pile 1, you are someone who is going through an upgrade, and you're noticing this shift more so with your tangible material realm. There's been a lot of work for you thus far around your worthiness. With the second house here and the root chakra here, this is all about your stability, your security. This can be financial matters. This is feeling safe in the world, in the tangible realm. And so there's a feeling here that you're at sort of, I want to say like a precipice of understanding how the unseen, your faith, your beliefs are affecting your tangible reality. It feels like you have been going through a lot of hardship when it comes to your security and stability, which was meant to help you sort of identify some core wounds and limiting beliefs around what you are worthy of and what you're capable of achieving. The second house in astrology is all about your material possessions and your work. And it's not just your net worth, but it's also your self-worth. And so the two are very much interconnected. You also may want to take a look, if you know your chart, to see what your second house is in, what sign it's in, and if you have any placements in that second house, because that may provide you some clarity and insight as to how you can begin to break through any sort of financial roadblocks or hurdles that you may be experiencing. If you don't know how to do that, book an intuitive birth chart analysis session with me. Let me know you saw this reading and this is something you want to talk about, and we can go through it together. With crown chakra and psychic here, you're really awakening to some of your gifts. And this may be freaking you out a little bit. Some of you may also be kind of nudged to doing spiritual work or allowing yourself to reveal and show this aspect of yourself when it comes to your work. Either way, I think you've been getting divine guidance, and I just don't know if you trust it because it's new for you. You might be someone who is very much more so connected to, like, I gotta see it to believe it type of energy. You really weren't someone who, I don't think you were opposed to spirituality in any way, but you just kind of like would write off your intuition. And again, it feels like you just may not have understood it or known what to do with it or even recognize that that's what was happening. With content with what I already have, there's a couple things coming through with this. You might be someone who, okay, can I pick this card up? There we go. You might be someone who is a bit stubborn. This energy that's coming through is you can make anything okay. This might have been a coping mechanism for a long time in order to find comfort in your life. You may be someone who over the course of a long time, maybe even since childhood, were placed in situations that were less than ideal, maybe even horrible. But what you learned to do in order to cope in those situations was your mind would create some sort of story or something to make you feel like it's not as bad as it seems. And you kind of carried this into your life where you accept a lot less than you deserve because you just kind of take what you can get and make the most of it. And while that's, an admirable trait in certain situations, you're being reminded that you're no longer in that place. You can ask for more. You can demand more for your life and for yourself. And not only that, but you're worthy of more. And I think that's sort of where the work has been for you, is really feeling like you are worthy of more than what you have experienced and what you have in your life, whether that's financially or otherwise. Okay, let's get a card for each month to see a little bit more into what the second half of this year is bringing. Okay. Can we get a card for the rest of July, please? Okay. Card for August, please. Oh, we got a couple cards. Okay, I did not want to do more than one, but we'll see. Oh, wow. Okay. We'll take it. September, please. Guidance for September. October. November. Oop. Okay. And September. All right. Bottom of the deck, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, finances is a huge theme for this group. Top of the deck, the Devil in reverse. I love to see it. Okay. So let's go through this. For the rest of July, you got the Knight of Wands in reverse. This month may be testing you a bit. Again, your impatience is running rampant. You're really being guided to be mindful of any sort of delays or frustrations that cause you to become really controlling and try to force yourself into situations. In this energy, you're really being asked to slow down. If things keep coming in the way and there keep being delays, there's a reason for that. And for this group, again, it feels like you are trying to bypass the spiritual component, the deep-rooted work that's coming up, in order to just gain the physical, tangible reward you want to feel safe. And what Spirit is telling you is, we're not giving you this financial abundance until you show us that you can actually honor it and that you can hold it. Because in the past, it feels like, again, since it's rooted to your sense of worth, it wasn't being, what's coming through is respected. There is a cycle here that's being closed out. Again, with the Devil in reverse at the top of the deck, this is a lot of shadow work that's coming up, a lot of abusive or toxic situations, which might be connected to money, that are coming up for your release, your detachment. You're trying to really heal some deep-rooted toxic tendencies when it comes to money and what it means to you because of how you correlate it to your worth. Now, for August, there seems to be a shift in energy. We have the Knight of Cups, Judgment, and the Emperor all coming in. There's some sort of offer, might be a romantic offer that comes in. And this is fated with the Judgment card here. This is meant to happen. And it feels like it's meant to sort of help you find some sort of stability, inner stability with this Emperor card here. This might be you, if you identify as a masculine, you really starting to take the baby steps into embodying this sort of disciplined, focused energy, this divine masculine energy. Or you may be someone who meets a divine masculine who helps you heal your own masculine energy. Either way, this is fated with the Judgment card here. Like I mentioned, this is a wake-up call for some. This is about really awakening to what it is that's been calling you for some time for healing. Now, again, with the Knight of Cups, this isn't like, obviously, it's not the Emperor, but given that it's kind of coming together, it feels like this is the trajectory that is available to you. You may show up with more of Knight energy, which isn't completely stable yet. It's just sort of this very... It's like that energy of just like, fuck it, I want to try, like, let me just move towards the thing, even if I'm not like completely at the place I want to be. And again, with Judgment here, that's not a poor decision to make. I think that's exactly what needs to happen in order to help with this awakening. However, it feels like because you are sort of moving in a direction you're not used to and really challenging yourself, you're going to get stuff's going to get pulled out from the root. Because again, this is top of the deck energy. Bottom of the deck is Five of Pentacles in reverse, which we love to see because this is recovery from financial loss. This is better health. This is better luck. This is really overcoming that adversity when it comes to your tangible security and safety. But also, again, because it's all intertwined here, it feels like a lot of healing when it comes to your sense of self-worth. Now for September, we have the World in reverse. Be mindful in September. With this energy in August, September may be that month that really challenges you to close out a cycle, and it feels like you are still sort of hesitant on this. There's almost like this battle here of what you've always known and what you're being shown is a different outcome or a different way of doing things. So there may be sort of, again, these delays that come up or these feelings of fear almost that are preventing you from really being able to learn what this soul lesson is and close it out. There's just, again, this feeling that you want to try and shortcut your way to this, and Spirit's not going to let you. So again, when I'm doing these readings, this is the current energy, okay? I feel like I need to make that clear. That does not by any means mean that this is set in stone. If you get to September and you're like, oh shit, I remember in the reading she said that I would try to shortcut this and it would cause me to just keep going round and round in this karmic cycle, and you choose differently, then all of this might become different, because your energy is shifting every moment. And if you make a decision that's different than what you would normally decide, it sets you on a new trajectory. So I feel like September, if you are called to this reading and it's resonating with you, if things come up in September that are triggering you to show up differently and triggering you to release a cycle or a lesson that you know is an issue for you, do it. I know it's easier said than done, but do it. It may feel scary at first because you're not used to it. You don't know anything other than this energy that you became used to, but you're worthy of finding out what a different outcome would be. Now, say September rolls around and you're still not fully comfortable with moving forward in whatever direction that you're being called to move forward. You'd rather sort of stay in what you know. Then October is going to be a month where things are really going to slow down so that you can do the healing that's necessary to really close this out. Because again, when these cycles come up, they're not going to go away. They're just going to come back stronger and louder and more inconvenient until you really have no choice but to sort of bow to them and release them. So October with the Temperance card here is really going to bring you to a place of healing and balance and harmony. Part of this is self-control. Another main theme here is self-control. If you are someone who knows that you overindulge or you can be reckless and impulsive, whether it's with your money, with your energy, with your love, with yourself, then this is all interconnected. And again, it's all tying back to your sense of self-worth. It's like there is a bouncing of extremes here, and you're being asked to find balance so that you can create something sustainable. So October is really going to help you learn about moderation. It's going to help you to find that peace and calmness within yourself so that you can really untie and unravel whatever this cycle is that keeps coming back around for you to release. Now in November, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, okay. It feels like once you start letting this healing happen, look at like how she's pouring the cups from one to another. There's going to be cups that are emptied along the way that might bring up some grief. This is giving processing. Yeah, because again, I don't know that you've let yourself fully process certain things, and that's why the energy is still lingering in your body. This healing is meant to do this. This healing is meant to sort of bring up things that you're meant to release when it comes to your emotions. You've repressed a lot of emotions, specifically around times in your life when you were disappointed or let down, or just grief over some emotional loss that you've been holding on to that you haven't fully processed out of your system. There's also a sense here that in November, there's a lot of clarity that's going to come through about how you felt unfulfilled in your life, and maybe even a sense of emptiness that you didn't know what to do with. So November is really where you begin to release the energy that you became aware of in October. Yeah. November might be, a little emotionally heavy. That's okay. It's happening for you. It's clearing space. It's clearing energy because this is taking up a lot of room for you. So again, let the stuff come up, face it, because you're going to have to anyway at some point, and let it out. This is going to take time. Again, I'm talking to a group that does not like to be held to a timetable that is not their desired outcome. This is going to take time to flush out of your system. So in December, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you're just going to be a bit tired. And that's okay. And again, by December, if this is like your trajectory, you might get angry with yourself, feeling like you're being lazy or that you're not being productive enough. Excuse me. But what you don't realize is the work that you've been doing, the hustle and grind work, was not where you needed to put your energy. That's why you keep coming to a dead end. You're not seeing the financial reward of your efforts because that's not where you need to put your energy. This is where you need to put your energy. It's in your emotions. It's in these cycles that keep repeating. It's in these really deeply embedded core wounds and feelings of loss and grief that need to be expressed to create space. So it's okay if you don't feel motivated or ambitious, or if you don't feel that sort of desire to really create the most amazing thing you could ever create. This time is for you. This is the work you're meant to be doing. That's not to say that you won't see some sort of financial stability, because again, we have Five of Pentacles in reverse at the bottom of the deck, which is sort of the foundational energy of this reading. So you will see recovery from financial loss. But again, December is going to show you how you really keep thinking that your productivity is correlated to your sense of worth. And what you keep being shown is your sense of worth, material worth, is connected to your sense of worth within. And so that's where you are sort of shifting the energy so that you understand. There's some perfectionism here as well. You understand you as you are worthy of feeling safe in this world and security and stability. This is a group that's had to prove themselves most of their life. You didn't feel worthy or valuable unless you had achievements under your belt, unless you were constantly doing something, doing. And that kept you safe for a long time because it gave you something to do and like to put your focus. But all this other stuff underneath was still there. And now it's coming to a point, because there is so much abundance available to you, where you gotta face the stuff that you keep turning away from so you can create room for this energy to really come in and solidify for you. Because again, you're moving from the Knight to the Emperor. This is the most stable of the deck. And that's going to take some work, especially with this Devil in reverse here. There's a lot of sort of toxic tendencies and shadowy things that have been coming for your attention in order to be able to heal this emotional work. All right, I'm going to end it there. Thank you for watching Pile 1. I wish you the best for the rest of 2024. Please, please, please continue to show up for yourself, to want more for yourself and from yourself. Know that whatever story you've lived up to up until this point is not the end of your story. There is a whole new beginning waiting for you. There's just some stuff that needs to be processed and let go in the meantime. Hi, Pile 2. So this is the stone that you chose for your reading. And now we will look at these oracle cards to get more insight into what your current situation is. Again, if this doesn't resonate with you, then perhaps your reading is a different pile if you felt called to a different pile. But we'll take a look. So we have integrity. Align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. Gratitude. Waxing gibbous. Boundaries. And trapped in fear. Okay, so let's start here. Pile 2, you're someone who is finding their voice. You're someone who's learning how to set boundaries, perhaps for the first time in your life. I think you're someone who tends to ruminate on things with this trapped in fear card. This is a mental card. So this is getting stuck in your head. There's a sense here of really fearing confrontation in some way. And so you try to solve problems in your mind. But we also have repeating 8s here. We have 8 here. We have 26 here, which reduces 2 and 8. So this might be a karmic cycle that you're closing out at this time. This year really showed you that you are capable of communicating in ways that you're not used to. You're also really releasing the shackles to your mind that you may have become very comfortable in for a long time. Again, it was this sort of paradoxical experience of hating that you would overthink all the time, but also being more comfortable because you had control over the conversations in your mind. There was a fear of truly speaking up for yourself because you may not have had the best experience with that. However, you're in a place where you're realizing that that's important and you can do it, because with the integrity card here, again, the card says align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. I think you've put up with a lot of stuff that was not aligned with your values or your integrity for a long time. I think you also attracted people that did not have integrity because they were mirroring to you how you also are not upholding your own integrity by not speaking up for yourself, by not speaking your mind, and instead allowing yourself to continue the cycle of thinking your way through things instead of taking action. With the gratitude card here, I feel like you're in a place now of really having gratitude for the lessons that you've experienced. Because I don't feel like this is new for you. I think this has been ongoing, and you're getting to a point where you're realizing this about yourself and you're seeing it in real time. So you may even be reflecting on old conversations or old relationships and showing gratitude for the fact that they were teaching you how to speak up for yourself. They were giving you an outlet to really allow yourself to express what's in your mind, so you don't have to, I said that strange, so you don't have to carry your thoughts all by yourself. If you don't already feel this gratitude, you're being guided to really have gratitude for those relationships and people in your life. It may not always be comfortable, but those who allow you to express yourself are healing you. They're giving you an environment to truly release yourself from the enslavement of this sort of hamster wheel that you're always on. Again, this is a group of overthinkers, of intrusive thoughts, of rumination, of always thinking about things after the fact and not being able to fully let it go. I wish I said that. I should have said that. Or still not finding resolution in a conflict because you didn't actually say what you needed to say, or you didn't set the boundaries you needed to set. Again, boundaries are not here to push people away. They're here to sustain relationships. Boundaries are here to let people you care about know, I really love you. I want to keep you in my life. And in order to do that, this needs to be the case. This needs to happen in order for me to feel safe. Now with waxing gibbous here, you may have been born during a waxing gibbous. That can be an indicator that this pile is for you. If you Google the date you were born and the moon phase, you'll find out if you were born during a waxing gibbous. But I'm feeling called to read from the booklet for this one. So 1 second. Waxing gibbous. At this point in the lunar cycle, the moon is 135 to 180 degrees ahead of the sun. This is the last phase of the cycle before the full moon, and here we find the strength to clarify goals, push past extraneous obstacles that we now have a firm ability to see through. Wow. We are coming to a moment of fruition, but know that there is work yet to be done, and so are activated, energized, and motivated. Working with others to bring our dreams to reality. Beautiful. So if you are born with a waxing gibbous moon, then you are apt to focus on the concepts of clarification and collaboration. You labor on behalf of something larger than you, aiming to contribute to society and life in general, seeking to be part of the growth they see around them. So some key terms: overcoming, clarifying goals, pushing away from the past for good, struggle, communication, coming into fullness, but still a sense of anticipation. The light form of this is an activated phase of the lunar cycle, and its highest form, it pushes us towards the full-blown experience of manifestation, arrival, and culmination. But before that happens, it ensures that all our details are in order. In its shadow, this could be a time of overwhelm. If you haven't been able to keep up with the flow toward growth, you may find yourself buried under intentions that seem too heavy to move forward. So a question for you to consider: how can you stay grounded during a highly activated moment in time? How do details motivate you? This is a moment for some tender self-care, as there is a rigorous building of energy prior to the full moon, and it is normal to feel quite overwhelmed at this phase of the lunar cycle. A mantra for this: I gather resources to me and rigorously connect to my core values. Celestial Bodies is the deck. I love that. That is so aligned with this reading. That makes so much sense. Your integrity, your values are coming up so clearly at this time, and really reassessing and realigning what's been aligned and what's not, because you are entering this full moon era. That's why it's important for you to learn how to set boundaries. That's why it's okay to get out of your head and finally feel confident enough to release what's been plaguing you. You're also a highly sensitive group, which is why you get stuck in your mind as well, because you really think about everything. Sorry if you can hear that construction. That just came as a surprise, but we're going to roll with it. You don't just consider your feelings, you consider everyone else's feelings. You don't consider just how things make you feel, you consider how things make everybody else feel. And that's a beautiful aspect of yourself, and can sometimes get you caught up in a cycle that just gets you stuck. There's also a sense here of releasing yourself from the responsibility of other people. This is about you solidifying and becoming firm and knowing about what is for you. Everyone else can deal with their stuff. You're being told to focus on you because, again, like the description said, this is bigger than you, and you know that, and that's why you consider everybody else. But again, when you consider everybody else when you don't need to, it's holding you back from really moving forward in the direction you're being guided to take. So integrity is key here, which makes sense because with the repeating eights, this is very much Saturn energy. You may have prominent Saturn placements in your chart, Capricorn, Aquarius. Your Saturn placement in your chart may also give you a lot of guidance into what it is that can help you with this. And we're in an 8 year. So this year is when you're going to see the fruition. I'm really excited to see how these next 6 months are for you because this is very much a karmic fated year for you. That's why you may be seeing a lot of endings in your life as well, or a lot of sort of closing out, closure in some way. Again, full moon can represent that too. It's the circle, the full circle coming back around. Really releasing yourself of anything that is preventing you from honoring the path that you're meant to be on. There's abundance here. And again, alignment is really important. The Saturn retrograde is also coming up. So from end of June to mid-November is we'll see what the cards say, but feels like a significant time for you of really like honing on your path, and Saturn really coming in to help you in whatever way is necessary, whether that's bringing people from the past or old situations to a close and realigning you, fated events, fated meetings. We'll see. Okay, let's get some guidance and clarity on these next 6 months. So guidance for the rest of July, please. Okay. Ooh. Guidance for August, please. Oh. Okay. Guidance for September, please. Interesting. Might be some resistance in September. Can you tell us something about September, please? There we go. Oh, that's the resistance because okay, it's happening as, okay. Guidance for October, please. Okay. I love that. Guidance for November, please. Okay. And guidance for December, please. Okay. Top of the deck, Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Five of Swords. In reverse. Interesting. Okay. So pile 2, group 2. You got the King of Pentacles for the rest of July. There is either someone coming in It feels like someone coming in who's really going to help you find stability and prosperity. This is an energy of someone who is safe and reliable, and I don't know that you've experienced a lot of that. I think you're used to people. I think you're used to being this King of Pentacles energy for other people. And it feels like someone's coming in this month. And I know what the month is almost over. It feels like someone's coming in to be that person for you. Someone who is practical. This is heavy earth energy, specifically Taurus energy. Someone who's a provider, someone who's protective, someone who is going to show you what it feels like to be around energy like yours, because it feels very stable. And again, you feel like your own inner stability might be a little shaky behind closed doors, but you are a stable force for a lot of other people. You just have not experienced a lot of other people being that stable force for you. And again, there's always the interpretation that this is your own energy, like really solidifying, but the way the story was playing out as the cards were coming, this feels like an external energy. I feel like I'm talking to a feminine, to be quite honest. Again, you don't have to be identified as a feminine to resonate with this, but there is a feminine energy here I'm speaking to. What's interesting is with the Queen of Swords coming out in reverse for August, I feel like some old stuff is going to come up with the presence of this person. Again, because I think you haven't experienced a lot of stability and safety, especially with masculine energy. Your pessimism, and maybe even this trapped in fear, that's what it is. Because this is you. I don't see some sort of like manipulative woman coming into your... No, I think this is your mind. When you're trapped in fear, it comes through the voice of this Queen of Swords in reverse. Very harsh, manipulative, deceitful, unforgiving, bitter. And I think because this is new energy for you, you're not always, because you're healing this, but you keep trying to look for the cracks. Like you keep trying to be 2 steps ahead. And this isn't that. It's understandable because it's what you're used to. But in September, if this ends up being a trajectory for you, be mindful of when your mind tries to get the best of you. This person is not like other people. This person does actually want to help you. Again, integrity. You've dealt with a lot of people who pretended that they loved you, pretended that they wanted to help you, pretended that they cared, but did not show up for you. And so as a self-preservation protective mechanism, you felt like you had to assess things 1,000 times over in order to know if you were safe or not. When really what's coming through is the most unsafety that you deal with is in your own head. People in your external reality, I don't think hold a match to how unsafe you can make yourself feel in your head. But baby, what did I say? September? I meant August. This is August. September, though, we got the Lovers. I don't know, y'all. Is this like a friends to lovers trope that we're seeing? I don't know. Is someone coming in to help you with your business? With your stability, with something, with your money in some way? And then all of a sudden, I feel like you try to talk yourself out of it because it's business. And then a love starts to bloom. And I think that love starts to bloom. There's a deep connection here because you realize that you're experiencing something that you've always wanted. Even if you try to talk yourself out of it because you're afraid. I think for some of you, you talked yourself out of love. You told yourself you were aiming too high or it just wasn't in the cards for you. It literally is, like literally is. And this person kind of swoops in out of nowhere and becomes that person you always needed, and not in a codependent way. You've done a lot of life on your own, and that hasn't gone unnoticed. This person is coming in to help you because you deserve help. You don't have to do it all on your own. So just be mindful in August of your head trying to create stories to push this away or to deny what you're feeling. I think you're someone who's also very speaking of boundaries, you don't mix business with pleasure. You're kind of like, okay, if we're doing business, we're doing business, great. That's all it is. So I think when feelings start coming in or when you start picking up on things, you're trying to talk yourself out of it because you're like, no, but I don't do this. And yet, at the same time, I feel like this group, if that's true for you, you're someone who would always ask for a partner that you could build with. So make it make sense. If you want a partner you can build with, then some of these boundaries may need to be reassessed. But with the Lovers here in September, this is experiencing a really deep soul connection and harmony with someone where there's romance, there's balance, there's a union happening. I think they're helping you really solidify that union within yourself and also union within a relationship. There's a lot of building happening here. And in October, you're really going to begin to sort of see, maybe little by little, but you're going to see the growth that's happening. Life is going to look differently for you by October. There's a sense of confidence that you're going to embody at this time that's sort of going to change your horizons, your perception of life. There's a lot of expansion here in October. There's a lot of progress. There might even be a milestone that you hit in October, whether that's within your business, within this relationship, I don't know. But October is bringing you something. With this Three of Wands, it's you really acknowledging the fruits of your labor. There may also be a big decision that you make here. What's interesting, and this is what's coming through, because for November and December, we have the World in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse, which also came out for pile 1. So there might be something in pile 1 for you. But this feels like having to let something go that I think you were holding on to. I think prior to this experience, you were still holding on to something. And then through this experience, you realized that this is something you really need to let go and close out. And it feels like it's going to feel like a loss. Even if you know this is what's best, there's still, I'm even feeling emotional thinking about this. There is still grief that comes with that, and that's okay. Something's ending at the end of the year for you. And again, makes sense because Saturn retrograde ends in November. And by the end of the year, it's just going to be completely different for you. I'm telling you, your life now versus the end of the year is not going to be the same. And with the Five of Swords in reverse here, Yeah, underneath the Tower in reverse and the Hierophant. Yeah, this is any changes that you were afraid of making, any sort of moves, any sort of releasing will be done by the end of this year. It feels like in November, someone from the past may resurface. And because you've experienced this energy, you're realizing this was never for you. So there is resolution here with the Five of Swords in reverse with this situation. There's making amends. There's releasing past resentment. There is peace, but it comes with some sadness, and that's okay. Some people might be disappointed. And this may not even just be your energy, because again, I feel like you're so tied to everyone else. But again, it's sort of just like finally cutting it loose and letting it go and allowing yourself to grieve that. We have the Page of Cups at the top of the deck here, which is beautiful to see next to this trapped in fear, because I think this is what the work has been for you, is going from always being trapped in fear to really allowing your mind to use that energy to consider the possibilities. You've really reconnected with your inner child here. There's a sense of newfound innocence and curiosity that has allowed you to maneuver through this in a way that is pure instead of the jaded sort of energy. It might come up a little bit, but it's not as strong as it used to be. Your intuition is giving you messages. Always try to ground. You don't want to get too lost in the sauce, but allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to believe in something different than what you've always experienced. When someone comes in treating you the way you've always wanted to be treated, receive it. Don't always look for what's wrong or what might happen. Because again, your energy is very powerful, so you might be manifesting that when you keep focusing on that. Allow this love to happen. And again, there might be some resistance here because you're holding on to something else. But in order to even really know if whatever this is for you, you owe it to yourself to experience something different, to see if something else is more aligned with your integrity. I don't think this was aligned with your integrity. I think you were making excuses. And the universe is showing you this was not happening because you deserve something like this. So surrender to the rest of this year and how it unfolds for you, because there's going to be lots of fluctuations and change, lots of new beginnings and releasing of endings, lots of really solidifying into who you are this year. Because after this year, I really feel like the work you put in to find that inner foundation, that stability, is going to skyrocket you into what you were always meant to contribute in this world, in a healthy way, in a way where you're not doing it by yourself. You have support, you have stability, you have a foundation to lean on. And not just your own inner foundation, but someone by your side who sees you for all that you are and wants to help you build that. I'm going to stop the reading there. Thank you, Pile 2, for trusting me and receiving these messages. I look forward to sending this energy to you and seeing how it turns out for you for the rest of this year. Hi, Pile 3. You chose this stone for your reading. So now we are going to see the oracle cards and what's been going on for you up until this point. Again, if this doesn't resonate with you, then perhaps this isn't your reading and you may have been drawn to another pile. So maybe take a look at that. If this does resonate with you, we're going to see what's going on here, and then we'll consult the tarot for the next half of the year. So we got 2 cards with this deck that came out together. You are a powerful light worker. It is safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings in loving service to the divine. Yes, and crown chakra, pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. Love that. Begin again. Nine, yes. Ooh, karmic path. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, third eye chakra. Who are you? You are a powerful, powerful being. I feel like already off top, this reading is not going to tell you anything that you don't already know intuitively. I feel like this is more so confirmation for you. You are super tapped in. You are getting messages constantly. Your crown chakra is open. Your third eye is open. You're highly, highly intuitive. You may also have strong Saturn influence in your chart, in your life. This also, not this card, but Saturn came up a lot in pile 2. So you may have been drawn to pile 2 as well. And if that's the case, I would recommend that you watch that reading as well. This year, an 8-year, repeating 8s may be significant for you, as well as 9s and 6s. This is a karmic year for everybody, but like for you especially, when it comes to really closing out some deep cycles. With 9 here, 9 is a number of endings. It's also the number of the shaman. The amount of wisdom that you have acquired and gained through what feels like a lot of really hard lessons. Saturn doesn't play. You had a lot of karmic cycles that and it doesn't even feel like you had to close out or karmic debt. I just think that you are so intrinsically embedded with karma in this lifetime that whether it was yours, your lineage, your family, your friends, your lovers, whatever, like I think you came into this life ready to help with whatever karma needed to be addressed collectively and individually, because it feels like your individual journey is also very much aligned with the collective journey. As you awaken, the collective awakens. As you close out cycles get closed out collectively. As you listen to your intuition more, the collective listens to their intuition more. You have dealt with a lot of endings because of the new beginnings that are now coming into your life. I don't know that you fully accept and therefore exude how powerful you are. I don't even know that you understand it. And that's okay. I think that's also part of your draw. Like there is a magnetism to you because I think other people see this more than you do. And because of that, it's alluring. Because you also don't want to be a dick, because you're not. And I think that's part of what really blows people away with you is you end up being someone they completely wouldn't expect. People may have kind of made judgments about you or assumptions about you a lot, and then were completely left with their tail between their legs because they're like, wow, that was not at all what I expected. You are an experience, honey. An experience. and you blow people's mind. I think you were also like an underdog energy for a long time. Maybe hidden, which feels like on purpose. And that may have frustrated you for a bit, which is understandable, but you were being protected from something. You were kind of nudged away. It's like you are this magnificent being with so much to offer. And I think you were excited to offer all of this, but the universe was like, okay, we get it. You're ready to go, but there's still some things that need to be done. So we need to keep you hidden from everyone and everything else while this sort of solidifies into place. While you do the work quietly in the background. And when you emerge, I think it's going to be huge. Like people are just, you're going to like have to reintroduce yourself. And people are going to notice it. You're going to look different. Your energy is different. The way you walk is different. The way you even style yourself might be different. It's just a completely different aura. But it's not different to who you are. It's just finally who you are. It's like I'm being really drawn to the light that's just shooting out of her. All this time, you were releasing things that were covering you up so that your light could truly shine outward. There is a sense of balance that I'm getting with this card too. It's like, this is making me think of all the chakras sort of intertwining with each other and the energetic exchanges being very balanced. If there are any endings that are weighing on you, please trust and know that you are so divinely guided. You are so divinely guided. Nothing in your life is by chance. I don't believe that's true for anybody, but you specifically. And I think you know that. You get a lot of synchronicities. You get a lot of signs. You know that you're on the right path. You might have moments where you're kind of like, what the fuck, which understandable. But again, you are so divinely guided. The places you go, the people you meet, the clothes you wear, the opportunities that come into your awareness they're all very strategic and calculated by the universe. There is no experience that was a mistake. If you think anything was a mistake or you fucked up, you didn't. You were right on the path. It's just that you may not understand yet why you were being led down that way. Especially with these endings. Some of you may have gone through a period too of feeling like you couldn't trust your intuition anymore because again, I do feel like there was something in your life that kind of threw you off track. Like you really thought you knew what it was and then all of a sudden it was like, what the heck is this? And it kind of, it messed with your self-trust. It messed with even your relationship to the universe for a bit where you were like, what the hell, guys? Like, I have been a very loyal servant to this work. Why are you doing me like this? I thought this was something else, and then here we are again. It may have been another karmic cycle that you were like, man, I thought we were done with that. But if that's the case, I feel like this karmic situation is what helped you propel in a way forward that was just necessary. Whether it was a person, a relation, or whatever it was, they helped you embody a version of yourself that is beyond any version of yourself that you've been thus far. And I think you know that too. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to still feel some type of way about it. But don't dismiss the literal magic that came of it in the form of you. All right, let's get into the tarot here. All right, can we get some guidance for the rest of July for group 3, please? Rest of July. Okay. get some guidance for August for pile 3. Yeah, you're tired. Get some guidance for September for pile 3. Wow, this Ace of Cups in reverse has come out in every pile. Get some guidance for October in pile 3. November for pile 3. And December for pile 3. Oh, ooh. Okay. Top of the deck, 7 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords in reverse. Okay. There is definitely a lot of releasing happening that's going to continue for the next couple of months. And not to create fear, but there's almost like an uprooting I'm feeling. For the rest of July, we have the 4 of Wands in reverse. Some of you might be moving. Some of you might be leaving home. Or again, feeling a sense of just instability where you are. July and August feel really intertwined in some way. It's the feeling I'm getting is you're realizing the support you don't have, and it's really making you feel some type of way. But again, with these endings, I feel like the universe is showing you where you are not being nourished in order to get you uncomfortable enough to make a change. I think you carry a lot by yourself. Be careful in August of burning out, of taking on extra responsibilities that are not yours, of putting in way too much effort into things that aren't necessarily your burdens, taking on other people's burdens, especially energetically. Set those boundaries energetically too, because you are sensitive. And I think sometimes you do make it your duty to take care of everyone else in whatever way that looks like for you, but it's coming at a cost to yourself. I feel like someone here gets to the point where they move. I don't know, there's a sense of just leaving. What's else? Oh my goodness. What else is coming through? That's not what I meant to say. What's also coming through? Part of this karmic balance that's happening for you is releasing this idea that you have to do things by yourself. Because there's also for some this idea that you don't have support, that you're constantly having to do things on your own, you're not loved, you're always let down, you're always disappointed. There's a lot of emptiness that may not necessarily be true. I'm not saying your feelings are invalid. I'm just saying that you just might be focusing on people that have shown you already they can't show up for you. But you keep expecting them to be the one to show up for you. And instead, it's like, what if you just accept them for who they are and create room for yourself to experience something different? The right side of my neck is aching right now too, so I don't know if that's something for someone. Again, with 9 here and endings, you're allowing yourself to release a lot that's been keeping you stuck in a cycle of isolation, of, again, that hidden energy. Like the universe hid you for a reason, but you also hide. You want love, but you fear it. You want ease, but you don't know what that's like. You're used to stress, chaos, always having to figure something out. Always, I think you find worthiness in that. I think you're learning there's no badge of honor in this energy. This summer, July, August, and then even September, I think you're really going to release any sort of even unconscious narratives that keep you stuck in burnout and getting disappointed by people. You're being shown that there is a stable home for you that's available, and it begins in the home you build for yourself inside. Some of you hate that you don't have support, but you refuse to ask for help. And again, I feel like I'm talking to someone, there's like heavy Capricorn energy here. I feel like I'm talking to someone who people always assume you're good, and you get mad about that because you're not good. And because you know you're powerful, because you know you're so connected to the divine, you get mad about that because you feel abandoned by the universe sometimes, and you feel this energy. But perhaps what this is teaching you is that you need community to put your guard down. Because again, it feels like you find value and a sense of worthiness in how much you can shoulder on your own. There is no gold star for that. It's depleting you. I mentioned this in pile 1, and I feel inclined to mention it again here. This is the current energy that I'm reading, which means it's not set in stone. If you're watching this reading and you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to go through that in August. When the opportunities present themselves to show up differently, do that, and you set yourself on a new trajectory. I don't believe that the future is set in stone. I think you have an infinite possibility of what that could look like for you, depending on the choices that you make. So this is what your current energy and choices could produce. If you don't want to feel this lack of support, if you don't want to burn out, if you don't want to keep holding on extra responsibilities, if you don't want to keep being tied to obligations that don't even feel like they're yours, if you're done feeling disappointed and drained and neglected and being let down and unfulfilled, then there are changes that need to be made. And you're capable of making those changes. The opportunities will keep presenting themselves for you to show up differently. Whether that's to say no to say, I can't, I don't want to say, this is too much for me, I don't have it in me, to set boundaries, to say, hey, I need some help right now. Hey, can you, whatever it is. Either way, whether you go this route or a different route, October seems to be a solid month for you. With the Queen of Pentacles here, there's a sense that there is a grounding happening. There is almost what feels like a slowing down to fully. What I'm seeing is, I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing. It's like I'm seeing Interstellar, first of all, that movie, which is one of my favorite movies. That might be a significant movie for you. But I'm seeing like when those spaceships or rockets or whatever have to align perfectly to just like set into place and lock in. That's the energy I'm feeling with this in October. You're locked in. No matter how the previous months unfold, by October, you're locked in. There's a sense of balance here with your practicality and your spirituality. You're sensible. You're nurturing to yourself and others, but more so to yourself. I think you're finally prioritizing being nurturing to yourself. And it feels like there's a sense of stability here. Now in November, be careful with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, being irresponsible with this newfound energy. If you come into money in October, be mindful with it, okay? Just don't try to, ball out of control and all of a sudden now you're back to where you used to be. No. Also be mindful of any perfectionism that comes up in November. Anything that might cause you to revert back to this energy. Because I do feel like there's opportunities coming for you this year, before this year is out, that's going to help you align with a different trajectory than what you've known. So just be mindful of fully releasing this so it doesn't come with you. So in November, be mindful of your responsibilities. Take initiative when you feel called. Also rest when you feel called. Some of you too, like what's funny about this is in November, because you're sort of releasing all of this stress and burnout and exhaustion that you're used to, you may think that you're bored. But it's not boredom that you're feeling, it's ease and alignment. It's a regulated nervous system, which may take some getting used to, because again, you might be used to things being like this and having to deal with a lot of shit with this karmic path card. But again, December, we got Wheel of Fortune. This is a whole new cycle. This is fate. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like with this coming out in December, no matter what road you take to get here, you're getting here. And because you're used to taking the harder route, you might just unconsciously take a harder route to get here. You're still going to get here, but take some time to really question, like, do I have to make this harder on myself? Where am I making this harder on myself? Is there an opportunity here to sort of do things differently so that I can get to where I'm meant to go without it being so devastating and hard and difficult and exhausting? There's going to be a lot of sort of, again, karma is a huge theme here. And with an 8-year, I'm not surprised. But for this group specifically, there's going to be a lot of changes that are fated. Surrender to it. That also might be what's coming up here. There might be a huge change that presents itself by the end of this month that will trigger feelings of resistance. Try your best to go with the flow of it, knowing that this is fated. You already know your shit is destined. Everything in your life is destined. The universe is in control, so expect the unexpected and roll with it, move with it. This is your destiny unfolding for you. King of Swords at the bottom of the deck in reverse and Seven of Pentacles at the top of the deck. You've been patient and you've been hard at work this entire time. If things unfold in ways that you don't expect, don't automatically write it off as not for you. You have a tendency to try and micromanage and control the universe. Be mindful of where your thoughts and beliefs become a bit too controlling and where you start to abuse your power, because this is a co-creation. Stop manipulating yourself out of opportunities and experiences that you say you want to have. Again, there's a new beginning unfolding for you, so don't resist it. It may challenge you. It may shake up your core a little bit because it's gonna create some change that might be a bit disorienting or alarming. It's always going to be good change because it's leading you to your destiny. But because you like to be in control, when you can't see 10 steps ahead, you get a little antsy, and that's okay, because with this karmic path card, I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of plot twists and surprises that fucked with you. But the resolution to that is not to try and be 10 steps ahead of the universe or micromanage the universe. It's to trust and know, with everything I've experienced, I still managed to get here. And here is being a version of myself that I've been working towards, that I knew was within me. I am a completely different person now than I've been before. So let me continue trusting in the path that's being laid out for me, because I know that I'm being guided by the divine, and I know I'm always going to end up where I'm meant to be. And I don't know what's meant to happen along the way to help this outcome happen. Trust in something bigger than just yourself. You've had to trust yourself only for a long time. I think you've also dealt with a lot of betrayal and deception that caused you to feel like you couldn't trust in anybody, including the universe, especially if what I said earlier resonated with you about experiencing stuff that kind of threw you for a loop and made you break that trust. Everything is unfolding for your highest good. This is a long-term investment that you signed up for. It's going to require perseverance. It's going to require patience. And I know you're like, I've been patient, Bruna. Stop saying that. I know you have. Continue. Because again, what you think is going to take years to see a change is happening within the next 6 months. So don't give up when you're so close, okay? Don't let any perceived setback or hardship prevent you from knowing that there is a big picture coming together. Don't let the battles take you out of the war. You've been fighting for way too long. And this Wheel of Fortune is here in December to provide you with a huge turning point in your life. The karmic cycles, the doom and gloom, the plot twists, that's those deeply embedded lessons, soul lessons, end this year for you. That's why it's been so much, so quickly. The universe is trying to clear off your plate So come December, it's a whole new life. All right, I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting me with your messages. I look forward to the evolution and destiny that you are walking into in this year. And as always, if you feel called, I'm available for one-on-ones at mysticbrew.com. Take care of yourself.